Hey guys, I'm so excited to bring you this video. The Samsung Galaxy S10 has leaked and this is the final design. It's all but been confirmed thanks to the recent release of the Galaxy A8s, and wow, Samsung has so much in store for us with the Galaxy S10. So I'd like to cover everything we've learned in the past week of leaks, comparing it to Apple's lineup, how they're going to stack up, and everything you need to know about these devices. So let's get into it. First things first, the final design has leaked thanks to Ice Universe. He has broke this and he actually shared many design insights regarding the regular Galaxy S10 Lite, I'm tentatively calling it that, the regular Galaxy S10 and the S10 Plus. So we know so much about this lineup, and even before the announcement, I can give you a lot of the information regarding them. So just want to say we did work on this updated concept. It is more accurate, closer to what they're actually going to be like in real life. But with these Galaxy leaks, they're different than iPhone leaks. They tend to change all the time. So this may not represent the actual final design, but it's going to be pretty dang close. So first things first is all of them are going to have pinhole cameras. That is absolutely amazing, and it's great that Samsung's doing this to differentiate their lineup immediately from Apple's. They have a very distinct design element, and that's the Infinity O display. They were actually beat out by a couple days by the Honor View 20, which was released in China. It's an LCD display, it has a pinhole camera, but Samsung's is going to be way more advanced as it's actually going to be an OLED. So shortly after that announcement, Samsung did go ahead and release the Galaxy A8s, and that demoed for the first time ever on an actual release product the Infinity O display. It looks great, and I gotta say, the camera might be a little bit large. It's 6.7 millimeters, but as a result, you're gonna get some incredible quality from the selfie camera. Currently on iPhones, I think their selfie cameras absolutely suck, so I don't mind. I actually welcome the larger pinhole camera here in that design. So Samsung might have been beat out to be the first one to introduce a pinhole camera, but they're going to introduce the first pinhole camera with an organic LED display. So that means the entire lineup of the S10, the 10R competitor as well, the S10 Lite, will have an OLED display with a pinhole camera, and the top-end model as well. So that's great news. So I just want to point this out. The pinhole camera does look pretty good to me, but what sort of purpose does the display serve behind the pinhole camera? We're going to have it right up in the top corner, and beyond it, there's going to be a little bit of display. It'll be absolutely useless. Maybe they can do like a strobe or something around it when the camera is working, but otherwise that display behind it is wasted space. Still though, I would prefer that over the notch. How about you guys? What do you think? Would you rather have a notch or the camera exactly in the middle, or would you rather have it off to the side? And about the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, earlier we heard it would have a dual lens front-facing camera setup. Now that's been confirmed through these screen protector leaks. We can see that it does have a dual camera setup, and they've sort of been fused into this oval shape. Now that is because one of the cameras is going to be larger than the other, and they had to do this to make it more even. Another question for you guys, would you rather have the cameras be separate, or would you rather have them be fused like this on the S10 Plus? Personally, I think it makes the Galaxy feel more distinctive, instantly, like the notch on the iPhone. You're gonna look at this thing, you're gonna know instantly it's a Galaxy S10 Plus, and from a design perspective, I think that's brilliant on Samsung's end. So what Ice Universe says is that this is the actual design. It's going to be very costly for these screen manufacturers that are making these screen protectors to be wrong, because the manufacturing process to develop it with the curved edges is very difficult, and they'd be losing a lot of money if they were to print all of these screen protectors or make them and have them be wrong. So he's saying just because of that, that's confirming the design just from this angle. Also, a question Ice Universe asks, and I'd like to know your opinion on it, I know I'm asking a lot, is would you rather have that dual lens camera setup be exactly in the middle or off to the side, how it's going to be on the S10 Plus? Personally, again, I think it's great off to the side. It declutters the front of the device, and in this concept sent to me by Boss Comstra, it actually shows how Samsung could blend that in the status bar. Even with the separated cameras and all, it would look so flush, just clean. That is so beautiful. So that's an alternate concept right there of how that could look. And an interesting point that Ice Universe makes is that this may look strange right now. Honestly, having a camera plop in the middle of your display does look a little funny, but it's more elegant than a notch, but you will get used to it, is what he's saying. That when the notch came out originally on the iPhone, on most of these Android phones, everyone, screamed bloody murder, but now everyone's used to it and it's business as usual, So same thing will be here. It's even less obstructive, so that won't be an issue. And I'd like to do a quick recap of the lineup. So we've got the Galaxy S10 Lite with a 5.8-inch display display. The Galaxy S10, also with a 5.8-inch display, but there have been some recent rumors where they're saying it could be a 6.1 as well. Talk about that in a second. And the Galaxy S10 Plus with either a 6.3 or a 6.4-inch display. So this is what we're looking at. They're all going to have different setups regarding the cameras. The S10 Plus will have the dual lens front facing. The others will have the single pinhole camera, likely on the right. I don't know why I've been seeing so many varying concepts on the left and the right, but it's possible they could put it on the right to differentiate it from the Samsung Galaxy A8s, the cheaper end model. And this is what I meant by the alternate screen sizes. EV Leaks shared this. This is the expectation of the new Galaxy lineup from case makers, and it goes and contradicts everything we've learned about them. They have pinhole cameras exactly in the middle. They're not fused on the higher end models. The screen sizes are different, so I don't know how trustable this is when everything else is pointing to what we've heard already. And this I absolutely have to share with you from OnLeaks and 91 Mobiles. This is their concept of the Galaxy S10, and wow, seeing this thing in action from a different concept maker looks really great. It's crisp. It's a design that absolutely will work. It's in line with Samsung's beliefs and their evolution of the Galaxy lineup. So this essentially is the Galaxy S10. You're looking at it right here. And I love what they've done with the bezels. They've shrunk them. There's still a little thick bezel on the bottom here. Next generation, the S11, will be a completely bezel-less design. I can almost guarantee it. But I'm certainly loving where they're going with the camera, and I wish Apple would do something like that just to get rid of the notch, put that tension elsewhere in the corner or something like that. But I think it looks great. And here's some more confusion to throw into the mix. Is the Galaxy S10 going to have a headphone jack? The A8s, a budget end model that Samsung just released, does not. So why would the S10 have a headphone jack? It's been rumored that it won't, and now that they've removed it on a cheaper end model, the higher end model might not have it as well. And Samsung has been one of the longest holdouts on a company to keep the headphone jack. Everyone else has pretty much got rid of it, so it wouldn't surprise me to see that go, but this case right here says otherwise, that they might be keeping it, and I'm hoping they did. We did our mock-ups without the headphone jack. The concept by 91 Mobiles was shown with one, so it's unknown entirely about that. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Oh, and that case leak for the S10 Lite does suggest it will have a dual lens camera, so the single lens camera that we rendered may not be accurate, and that'll have a dual lens on both the S10 and the S10 Lite. So that would be an interesting choice on Samsung's end. It would definitely be the better choice between the 10R, which it's competing with, which has a single lens camera. And also a very interesting point is that the power button appears to have a fingerprint sensor capability. It's very wide, and I believe that the fingerprint patent that prevented them from doing this before has expired, but I'm not sure on that. Don't quote me on that. So it's very possible they could introduce that feature on the S10 Lite instead of the in-screen fingerprint sensor that the S10 and S10 Plus will be getting. And this is a quick mock-up by Ice Universe of what the S10 Lite could look like, comparing it to the medium range S10. It'll have a flat display, it won't be curved, so it will be more of a budget end model, but seems to be a much better value overall versus the iPhone XR. And Ice Universe mentioned that the actual colors of the Galaxy lineup are better than anything imagined by any mock-ups or concepts right now. I'm thinking they're gonna do more things like the color shifting backs, the gradient backs, so we rendered up some of those. It looks really great, and I wanna see that on more smartphones, especially iPhones. And the actual Antutu benchmarks for the Galaxy S10 Plus have leaked, and they're in around 325,000. Comparing that to the iPhone XS Max at 310,000, it seems that Samsung has finally surpassed Apple in the processor game. Now this is for the Exynos 9820. Likely the single core score in Geekbench will still be lower, but that's very surprising that they're closing the gap so quickly. And the actual Snapdragon 855 processor was announced just the other day. They did mention that it would be 45% faster than the Snapdragon 845. So doing some basic math, that means that the multi-core score could actually reach 13,000, eclipsing that of the current iPhone XS models. That just makes me even more excited to do a speed test, to do some benchmarks here. I want to see Android overcome Apple's processors, but with the kind of momentum they've been having lately, it seems very difficult for anyone to overcome them. I'd like to see them surprise me though. Now, building even more hype for the Snapdragon 855, this actual Antutu benchmark leaked just a few days ago, and it shows an incredible 343,000 Antutu benchmark score. That does totally eclipse Apple's A12 processor. The single core score likely won't be up to par, but with the new octa-core layout and the one ultra fast processor, I could see that potentially changing. One thing is for sure, speed tests will completely change with this processor. I am so hyped to try that out. And Samsung is testing 5G on their alpha version of the S10 that's rumored to release later with an even larger display. So they've been testing this in this prototype unit. 2019 is going to be the year of 5G just starting up. 2020 is when it's going to get refined and finally introduced to the iPhone as well. And lastly, Galaxy S10 clones. Apparently they've already been hitting the market. I'll be sharing them with you soon, but as usual, don't expect much from these. So there it is, guys. The Galaxy S10 is going to be such a monumental upgrade for the Galaxy series phones. From the S9 to the S10 is going to be a huge difference. And that's more of what I want to see in the Apple lineup. You know, from phone to phone, we're seeing such minor little revisions that most people are just getting bored. So I like that Samsung is keeping it exciting. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the next one. That's everything we know about the S10.